My name is Albert Crawford. I am 87 years old, and today I want to say something that I have been silent about for a long time. This is a much more personal story, a story that completely changed my understanding of love, marriage, and intimacy. And if you really hear me now, perhaps you will be able to avoid the pain that can drag on a person for a lifetime. My wife Marion and I have lived together for 62 years. It's more than a lifetime for many. And almost all this time, I was sure that we had a strong alliance. Not perfect, but reliable. A marriage that looks right from the outside and doesn't raise any questions. However, there is one thing that is rarely talked about when it comes to long-term relationships. You can spend decades with a person and still not really know them. You can share your home, your life, your habits, even your silence, and stay surprisingly far away where it matters most. Marion died 9 years ago. Everything happened quickly. Heart failure, the diagnosis came suddenly, and a few months later she was gone. And in those last days, when she was lying in the ward, amid the quiet sounds of equipment and other people's footsteps, she told me a phrase that still rings in my head. She said, "We tried too often to be right, and too rarely to be around." At first, I didn't accept these words. Everything inside was resisting. How is it? We weren't yelling at each other. We didn't destroy the house. We lived peacefully. We were comfortable for each other. But over time, I realized that this was exactly the trap. It was convenient for us, and convenience is not intimacy. This is not honesty, and this is definitely not a connection for which people once chose each other. Let me explain what I finally understood. For a long time, my wife Marion tried to reach me in ways so small, I barely noticed them. She'd say things like, "Let's learn something new together," or "Do you remember how we used to talk late into the night?" Nothing dramatic, nothing urgent, and every time I brushed it aside. Not harshly, not cruelly, just casually. I was too tired. There was work to finish. It didn't seem necessary. I told myself we could always do it later. What I didn't realize back then is that later is a very dangerous word. I believed love was proven through responsibility, by paying the bills, by staying loyal, by being someone you could count on when things went wrong. And yes, those things matter, but they are not what keep a relationship alive. What keeps it alive are the quiet choices. Choosing to listen when you'd rather rest. Choosing presence over convenience. Choosing your partner even when nothing is technically wrong. I didn't stop loving Marion. I simply stopped participating in our life together. It didn't happen in a single moment. It happened in fragments. A conversation postponed. A walk cancelled. A habit of saying not tonight. Eventually, Marion stopped inviting me into her world. Not because she stopped caring, but because she got tired of knocking on a door that never fully opened. She found joy elsewhere. Friends, hobbies, long afternoons I wasn't part of. We shared a home, a last name, a history, but very little intimacy. I told myself this was normal, that long marriages naturally cool, that comfort replaces excitement, but comfort, I've learned, can quietly turn into neglect. When Marion became ill, time suddenly gained weight. Days felt heavy, moments felt fragile. In those months, she spoke with a honesty I wasn't prepared for. She told me about dreams she let go of without complaint, about how often she felt unseen, about how lonely it is to be with someone who is always nearby and never truly with you. One evening, she mentioned Scotland. She had always wanted to go. Her family roots were there. She imagined misty hills, old villages, a feeling of belonging she couldn't quite explain. She had told me before, many times. And every time I answered with logic instead of love. Too expensive, bad timing, maybe someday. There would be no someday. What still haunts me is that she wasn't angry. She had already mourned that dream long before her body began to fail. I asked her why she never fought harder for it, why she didn't demand more from me. She said, "I didn't want you to agree, I wanted you to care." That sentence changed me far too late. After Marion died, I found her journal. Reading it felt like meeting my wife for the first time. She wrote about loneliness, about hoping I'd notice her trying, about sitting next to me while feeling completely invisible. She also wrote about love, about the man she believed I could be, about waiting and slowly accepting that waiting might be all there ever was. I was in the same house, the same bed, the same life, and I missed her. Here is what I want you to understand. Relationships don't collapse because of betrayal or disaster. They wither from neglect, from assuming presence equals connection, from believing stability is the same as intimacy. Indifference is quiet. That's why it's so dangerous. If you love someone, choose them while you still can. Ask questions you think you already know the answers to. Listen without planning your reply. Say yes more often than is convenient. Because one day, the person you love may stop asking. And one day after that, they may be gone. And all the time you thought you had will finally be very, very real. When was the last time you did something for your partner simply because it would make them smile? Not because the calendar told you to, not because you should, but because you wanted to. When was the last time you truly saw them, not just glanced, not just coexisted, but felt a quiet gratitude that this person chose to share a life with you? If nothing comes to mind, then you're walking the same road I once did. Here's an uncomfortable truth. Your partner will not be here forever. Neither will you. One of you will leave first, and when that moment arrives, there are no rewinds, no second drafts, no chance to finally say what you kept saving for later. No opportunity to take the trips you postponed, or have the conversations you kept avoiding because now isn't the right time. My wife and I had over 4 decades together, and I squandered far too many of those years by settling into comfort instead of nurturing closeness. I focused on being correct instead of being connected. I showed up physically, but too often I wasn't emotionally there. Please don't repeat that mistake. Love is not something that happens once and then survives on autopilot. Love is a daily practice. It's action. It's effort. It's choosing, again and again, to engage rather than coast. It's staying curious about the person you think you already know. It's trying unfamiliar things together, even when it feels awkward. It's having the conversations that scare you, because avoiding them feels easier. It's caring about what matters to them, not out of obligation, but because their inner world should matter to you. After my wife passed, people told me I had been a good husband. They were trying to comfort me, but they were wrong. I was sufficient. I met the bare minimum. I didn't betray her, didn't harm her, didn't walk away, but that's a painfully low standard. Being a good partner means actively building intimacy, choosing vulnerability, making space, making time, protecting the relationship even when you're exhausted, distracted, or overwhelmed. I didn't do that, and now I carry the weight of knowing something extraordinary slipped through my hands, not because of tragedy, but because of neglect. Even years later, I still think about Scotland, how easy it would have been to say yes. A single week, some money, a small sacrifice for me, everything for her. I think about the classes she suggested, the hobbies she wanted to share, the talks she tried to start, and all the moments I brushed aside with not now or someday. Someday is a lie we tell ourselves. It almost never arrives. If you love someone, truly love them, don't wait for the perfect moment to prove it. Don't assume they already know. Don't treat their presence as guaranteed. Ask about their dreams. Listen without rushing. Say yes more often, especially to the things that don't naturally excite you, because strengthening your bond should excite you. Be present, be intentional, be awake, because one day you may find yourself alone, flipping through old photos, rereading notes and memories, realizing you once had everything you needed and only understood its value after it was gone. I'm not sharing this to burden you with guilt. I'm sharing it because you still have something I no longer do. Time. If you have a partner, they're still here. You can still speak. You can still go. You can still choose differently. On my desk sits a photo from our honeymoon in the early 70s. She's laughing into the sunlight, hair caught in the wind, full of plans and hope. And I think about the woman she became, still gentle, still beautiful, but with a quiet sadness in her eyes that I helped create by taking love for granted. She was right. We lost too much time trying to win arguments instead of protecting closeness. Don't lose yours the way I lost mine. Love the people in your life deliberately, actively, while you still have the chance.